So, firstly, let's hear about. I know who you are, but some of the people downstairs might not know who you are. So, let's hear who you are.
Okay, I'm OBBIE. I am a spoken word artist from Los Angeles, California, currently living in Las Vegas. I'm a father first, right? And then I am a spoken word artist and an advocate for abuse reduction. So I do poetry and then I facilitate training events through poetry for sexual assault and harassment prevention. So those are the three things that consume most of my days: parenting, art, and advocacy.
Okay. So, you from California. You live in LA.
I'm from LA, which is California.
LA.
I live in Las Vegas.
Okay, you live in Las Vegas. And
Yeah,
how long have you been doing poetry?
2011.
Okay. So, what was your inspiration to start writing poetry?
It was a release, right? It was a way to have a one-way conversation that you don't really have the right to interrupt me. Right? You show up to shut up. You pay money to come in there and sit down and be quiet. So I can say what I'm thinking, I can say what I feel, and I don't have to worry about a rebuttal, someone unsolicited feedback, and any of those things. And growing up as a black man in Los Angeles, you don't really have the genetic license to speak freely like that, especially about emotional things. You got to hold those in. So poetry provides that for me.
That's an absolute fact. Do you remember? It's a wild question. Your very first piece that you wrote
Do I
and
remember
what
the
inspired
words?
it?
Do I remember the words or do I remember the poem, like the name of the poem?
The name of the poem and the poem.
Yeah. I
Everything.
remember it was called Thank You Poetry, and I have no clue what the words are. I don't remember the words at all.
Thank you, poetry.
But it was a poem that I wrote, and because once I discovered poetry, it was like instantly. I didn't know anything about it until 2011. That's when I discovered it. And the night I saw it is the night I started writing. So when I saw it, it felt like a void that had been filled. Sometimes we feel like there's something missing. We can't identify exactly what's missing, and then we see something and say, okay, that's the thing that's missing. That's what poetry did. It felt like a loan. So my first poem is me thanking that art form for showing it.
Absolutely. Okay. Do you have specific elements that you choose with each poem that you do?
I mean, specific subjects?
Yeah.
No.
Or do they just?
Yeah, not really. I rarely ever pick the subject. Most times when I start writing a poem, I don't know what direction it's going in. I'm just writing, and then it'll lead somewhere. But in the beginning, I don't know what the end is going to be. So I rarely ever pick subjects. I just write. Like life is inspiring. So anything that happens in life is eligible to read about. So that's kind of how it happens.
I understand. Question, because I asked everybody who does poetry here because I've been back into writing poetry for about 2-3 years now. What? Well, you probably got it down pat now. Do you have any advice for learning a piece by heart? Because I don't really know a full piece by heart. I know bits and pieces of bits and pieces.
Right. It's repetition. It's repetition. There's no magic trick when it comes to memorizing. Not for me. Some people, they memorize it the same way you memorize songs. You know, a song comes on the radio, you have no intent to memorize it, but you do. You hear it so much before you know it, you're singing the words. Some people record themselves and they play it while they commute. As they're driving back and forth, they just play themselves and eventually they'll catch on. For myself, it's one line at a time. I say this line and then I say the next line. Then I say those two together. Then I say the third line, then I say those three together. I just continue to do that until it's over. And when I first started doing poetry, it may have taken me a week to memorize a poem, but now it might take 45 minutes. And it just became muscle memory. Your muscle becomes a little bit more conditioned or strengthened to do that, and then it becomes easier. So it's just repetition. I think the biggest thing is getting past the discouragement, right? Once you fight past the discouragement of not being able to memorize and you keep doing it, it will happen a little easier.
Okay. Yeah, because I always said, what I'm going to do is one day I'm just going to play it like I play a song, because we learn songs like it's nothing. So if you could sit and learn the words of somebody else's piece, why can't you sit there and listen to your own self and learn it that way?
Yeah. And also I would say relieve yourself of the pressure to having to say it verbatim. Sometimes the reason we mess up is we write a poem and then we try to remember the words, but some of those words are just filler words and they're not that relevant to the message. So be okay with using something else in lieu of, and just memorize what that message is, right? That way you're not stopping because you said is and should have said are. You know what I mean? Just so don't put the pressure on yourself to memorize it verbatim. It's your poem. You know what it is that you were trying to say. Memorize the message and the sequence that message is being told, and then it serves as mental cues of, I just said this, what do I say next? So I would also say, you know what, I'm looking at this screen. I've never seen this before. I've never been on this app. It's just like the stock market, like it's stuff moving. It's over here, numbers over here.
This is tagged.
Okay.
And it's...
When I was younger, I aspired to be a gymnast. It happened, but not quite like I imagined. Instead of cartwheels and somersaults, sometimes my mind flips and my personality doesn't split. But it's amazing having a mind with amaze in it. I can spend days in it. I navigate it easily, but when others gaze in it, it's hazy. And they ask, hey, is he crazy? Just maybe, but he can't be because he speaks so sensibly. It's like nobody gets me. Even family feels that I'm unfamiliar. They say he's a locked vault with a lost combination. And trying to get in is like trying to open a high security safe with a shoelace. He just strings us along, but he never comes ajar. He's a jar with this tinted glass and his tightened top that don't twist off. And he gets pissed off when he questions. He only answers to his daughter, his seed, the Brooklyn Elise. At least she has the key, but we're sort of kept at arm's reach and we're wondering, why is this? Maybe he needs to visit, maybe he needs to schedule a site visit because he speaks in images, but his feelings aren't quite vivid. And we got a feeling he's been hoarding hard times in the basement of his belly. And we're afraid if he doesn't purge hell when he murders. We can't read him. He's written in Arabic. He's a man grenade that doesn't talk, he just writes. And he just might explode if we pull his pin. He carries these Colorado winters in his chest, and his sentiments are like icicles. What we call cold, he calls a coping mechanism. And what's even colder is we're starting to think that he's a cutter. Not himself, but others. He cuts folks off like bad traffic. And if you add his neck, he'll cut ties. And we're lost in how he's so copacetic with loss. And we can't tell if he loves because he carries the emotions of a dead emoji. And we couldn't even contract U-Haul to move him. So what do you do when the only way that you know to live has been killing those that you live? And all your loved ones have thrown in their hand because they can't win with the way you did. When your hard face is considered as heartless, when you're the black sheep, and not even your shepherd knows how to receive you. Yes.
Okay.
I do have an erotic poem. Look, I'm gonna close my eyes because I don't know if I know all the words. So if I stop, it's about foreplay. I think there's a misconception about foreplay and how foreplay should exist. I think people think it starts like when you start touching. So this point is to debunk that myth. I think foreplay happens before the fondling, before the bra falls, before the fingering, before we start force feeding each other our tongues, before phalanges start frolicking over erogenous zones, before the minora and majora form around the mouth and becomes a faucet for the face it sits on. Foreplay is like a fire alarm. It's the forewarning before hot hands start hovering over warm breast. It actually starts during the courting process. Like when we're just talking to each other, that's when it starts. It's formed through verbal formula. It's the intellect-driven dialect exchange that rearranges thoughts. It's the lip service that gives the libido the liberty to live. Foreplay is that blast you have when intrigue is triggered. Without having to oyster, foreplay can talk a pearl tongue to climbing out his shell. Talk a clitoris to removing his hood so he can hear me clearer. A low raspy that'll make nipples raise. Before areolas becomes the tongue's target practice, foreplay will talk you out of your skin. Foreplay is a fine art which gets crazier when it's found by an artist. My first language is love. My love language is lust. Just by kissing her on the left side of her brain, a linguist can lift legs without ever lifting a finger. Mere words on a sheet have you thinking she's in hell by the way she's in heat, but it's evident that she's in heaven by the way she's shifting and maneuvering in her seat. Uh, Hold on, I got 4 more lines, I think, where she's maneuvering and shifting in her seat. Her halo dripping wet, panty liner is laying in moisture. It's a canoe now. Her vagina is a canal, and I'm a cannibal, and she can feel it. We hadn't even closed the distance yet, something like that.
Yes, indeed.
I added some more to it. All right, here we go. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? People tend to fear, mock, and destroy what they can't control or do not understand, like how COINTELPRO did the Black Panthers. So that's why when they outlaw our stories, we smuggle them in stanzas. They got the nerve to call us monkeys. But when they see how we prosper off the fruits of our own labor, they the ones that go bananas. So how dare you police my pen? Cause see, the ones who come before me bestowed this power in me, and it allowed me to be a little artsy. This art flows through my bodies like arteries, so these bars be my heartbeat, no confinement. Because policing my pen is like trying to put me on lockdown. Yet the only thing that's binding that's taking place here is in between these sheets, letting this ink leak inside this notebook, pushing my pens purposely so these words can breathe. Then I speak them aloud. You're not going to police my pen. And I refuse to be sentenced for my silence while the corrupt keep getting acquitted. See, there's a lot of truth that needs to be spoken, and I'ma spit it. I write indictment in verse because I would not be convicted by the viciously vindictive who only view my voice as less than a cause and more of a curse. I do this for the culture. So I don't understand why you are so hell bent on policing my pen because me, in a life when I've been able to speak freely through poetry creates a juxtaposition. See, poetry is the reason for why I write. It's not a little hobby, it's a way of life. It's how I live and breathe. There's power in the tongue, and I agree. So poetry be the calm to my anxiety. And I heal myself from depression through freedom of expression. And I chose alignment over acceptance. How dare you try to police my pen like it's cuffing season? Doing everything in your power to quiet black bodies, cause I fly got you feeling froggy. So you jump down our throats because you got the gun, the badge, and the balls trying to get your point across. Sending search warrants for my hidden haikus, frisking my metaphors, trying to strip my truth just because you feel uncomfortable. They trying to police my pen, but I wish a motherfucker would because I swear the day they try to cuff my commas is when my margins become a mugshot and my similes be a smile, treating me like an outcast, expecting me to be Idlewild, trying to put a cap on my commentary, handing out complacency disguised as commissary, but I'm not fretting because my bail bond be a blessing. And all the while I got God on speed dial, so when it comes to the Holy Spirit, I'm protected, no Ghostbusters, but I know who to call when things get hectic. Making my way out of nowhere like Morgan, becoming a free man, so prepare to get Shawshank, no redemption for you, son, if you decide to be the obstacle that stands in my way of no escape. Because I'm trying to live my life with no restraints and ride the tracks of that freedom train. Prepare my journal for the next entry on a new page. Continue taking my deep breaths on this stage because I'd rather maintain peace of mind than be a prisoner of my pain. So don't you even think of policing my pen. You want so badly to dry up this ink, trying to turn my mantras into martyrs, my soliloquies into slaughters, trying to flatline my double entendres, crossing lines so you could turn my scribes into chalk outlines, plotting to twist my future with poetry into a pastime. How dare you try to police my pen? I guess me being highly favored offends you, huh? Because you're the true definition of a writer's block. Yeah, I'm going to keep on pouring until my heart stops because my calling can't be contained. And as long as I'm here on this earth, I'm going to keep pushing my mother fucking pen.
Yes,
Piece I got
ma'am.
called Stop Sign, Red Light, Green Light. Okay. Growing up, I always heard life was a game. And if that's the case, I'd equate my life to the game of red light, green light. Red light, green light. Red light, green light. Red light, green light, February 5th. Long before I knew life was a bitch, I teleported by way of divine feminine portal, Kimberly Smith. Mama, there goes that man. Now, Babylonian time reads I was born into this Truman Show 10 minutes past 7 p.m., you dig? My spirit pure as the air quality where rich white people live. What a blessing just to breathe. I almost was born on Oklahoma soil, but Grandpa kicked my mom out the house because she was pregnant. So we moved to Houston, Texas, and she had me at 18. Red light, single mother life begins. Gemini, so she's cool, but doesn't really have or like friends. No dad, so you know the path they say I'm destined. Growing up, I got conflicted stories if you was Egyptian or Mexican, but I ain't tripping. No male influence as of yet. As a baby, my hair was long, hard to recognize my sex. Exclusively raised by women my entire life, but I ain't bitching. Hey, Dwayne Hines, if I tell the world you a child molester that got away with raping my teenage sister because you was connected to the corrupt Jersey Village Police Department, is that snitching? Green light, today is my birthday, one bedroom apartment, just my mama and me. I was too young to know the lights were off, but mama kept candles lit, so we was always able to see. Man, this being poor shit a piece of cake. Not to mention mama stayed full of laughter, and she bought me toys, which brought me joy, to the point I forgot I was a bastard. Red light, knock, knock, who's there? Houston Police Department is what I thought I heard. Some of it still feels like a blur. Mama ignored the door, and when the knocks got louder, she just looked at me and said, shh. Quiet as kept, now she pregnant with my little brother, and not too many people really know. A little bitty woman with a big old stomach, now she can't help but to show. Green light, today is May 18th, my little brother is born. I wish I had more time to tour his life story, but basically we both missing a dad we never knew or saw. Some type of shit you might see on Maury. Red light, 20-year-old mother or two. Now that stress feels like double the trouble. When you a little girl in a big ass world, no lie, that shit might numb you. My mama stayed solid in this crazy jungle. She got stressed out on holidays by humbug. She got a man now. To keep it real, y'all, I used to think my mama didn't even want love. Besides going to work, she never went outside, but I can't ever really remember seeing her. Is leaving a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old home alone a felony or a misdemeanor? Green light, 12 years old one time when I snuck outside. Just got a fresh haircut, so you know I was feeling like a little player. Red light, first time I was ever molested was by my 20-something-year-old female Hispanic neighbor with questionable behavior. She sucked on my private part, then made me eat her pussy. In my nightmares, I could still taste her. Was I easily manipulated, or was she just very persuasive? Green light, my little brother in the living room playing video games. Mama belly poking out again, so you know it's hard to miss her. And mama always says stay out of grown folks' business, but I overheard her tell grandma we probably having a baby sister. Red light, pool party at my mama homegirl crib. I was having fun in the water, but then I had to go inside the apartment and take a pee. I was 13 years old when he pinned me down on that bed and tried to take advantage of me. My mama best friend brother on top of me. Face so close that we almost kissed. Anita walked through the door right at the moment before he was just about to grab my red light, red light, red light. Stop sign. I don't want to play this game no more.
Sheesh.
Right. Okay, this next one I got is called She Be Like. I wanna fuck you, but intimately touch you. But sex, we ain't gotta rush it. This is mental seduction. First, let's have a stimulating discussion. Like, what's your favorite color? Or how you feel about your mother, your father? Tell me all your triggers, your trauma, co-parental issues. Tell me about that drama. Yeah, I want to hear it. You can tell me what your fears is, or tell me about that business you starting. Tell me how you going back to college and chasing that scholarship. It could all be so simple. Tell me when the lights and the rent due. What time them kids need to be at school? What you cooking tonight? Spaghetti with some Prego? Don't worry, I'll make it. You sit back and take a break. Relax yourself with some wine, have a taste. Dinner's almost done. Let me prepare you a plate. Cause you deserve it. All that grinding, hard working. You deserve a trophy and some more shit. You deserve a grown man who's not on some hoe shit. Who's focused and notices how your face light up when you're talking about your goals and shit. Free to be you and do what you do. No narcissistic or controlling shit. I take heed, baby. Allow me to take the lead, baby. I'm not just trying to get between your knees, baby. I know dick ain't the only thing you need, baby. Yeah. Now hit the weed, baby. And close your eyes for a minute. Going slow, let me penetrate your mind for a minute. Tears of joy, I'ma make you cry in the pillow. Lifestyle or vanilla. Tell me what you into. I'm into you. My intuition kicking in. I got vivid visuals. I'm dreaming to give to you. Stroke my ego as I nibble on your nipples. Fucking your mind first. My foreplay is mental. Fuck me like you mean it. Fuck me like the rent do. Pussy got me fiending. Damn it, who sent you? Demon time? Nah, we vibrate high. Woman is God. I praise the most high. Grip it while you ride. Grip your neck tight. Legs in the sky. Kiss all on your thighs. Nice and slow vibe. We on cloud 9, but right before I make you come for the 5th time, my phone ring. And she be like, who is that? And I be like, get up. I gotta go. That's my wife calling. The healthier you are, the less you sleep. Humans used to sleep 3 to 4 hours. You know what I mean? And it brought me to this thought process. Say, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Now, Master said we need to take our asses to bed for like 8 to 10 hours. I wonder if that's because he don't want us up trying to strategize and think. You know, I've become more in tune with my spiritual beliefs, and honestly, I'm beginning to unbelieve a lot of this bullshit I used to believe. The irony, I woke up from a bad dream, now I'm starting to see. The very thought of me sleeping my life away in my bed really bugs me, and is indeed a head scratcher dealing with all these lies. They want me to work 8 hours a week just to make a living. They tell me to ease on down the road for a pot of the gold at the end of some rainbow that will most likely die before we get it, so who's really making the killing? I'm living in a world full of dinosaurs, men on Mars, Pokemon cards, man-made religions. Blows my mind how easily they control our minds with every song and every image. They want us to work 8-hour days, plus overtime every week, until our bodies are weak. Then comes along these walking infomercials trying to inform me that for the rest of the day, I probably need to bob out and go to sleep. But I don't agree. And why is it that if he or she has a piece of paper, a college degree, that somehow makes them smarter than me? I thought knowledge was power. Or are they trying to make it college's power? Tomato, tomato. I ain't trying to argue. Most of y'all love sleeping anyway, so fuck it, why bother? Just don't project on me and I won't reflect on you. Work 8, sleep 8, but wait, ain't that like 16 out of 24 hours? We still gotta eat shit, piss shower, sit in traffic for about an hour, raise our children if we got them. Why is it that when that math ain't math, then we don't see it as a problem? You know, I'm starting to get a hold of new meaning to the phrase and correlation of when they tell us get you some rest and count you some sheep. And that's the quicksand sinks I'm too tired to think. Mental fatigue kicking in, I just don't know what to do. Time to wake up and chase my dreams. Time to button up my shirt and get to work, but the only button I touch reads snooze. Old school used to tell me, don't sleep your life away, youngster. You know if you snooze, you lose. I used to reply, that's good to know. I was full of ego, 10 toes down, trying to ground myself and wondering why I'm hitting my pinky toe. Today, I woke up on the wrong corner of the bed. I've been daydreaming about getting ahead, but lately, life's been spinning like a ceiling fan. Got my nose stuffy, lying here, lying to myself on the status of my mental health. I try to lay my crown down at sundown, but all this crying, I've been dying to get some rest. I swear, y'all, I've been trying to get this shit off my chest, but trauma rising from my past got me rubbing my head with so much confusion. It's like my imagination is the matrix. These low vibration temptations keep my mind racing. I be consciously moving unintentionally, not knowing what I'm doing, but I still do it. And to think, the very thought of sleepwalking to me used to be stupid. But nowadays, I'm vibrating that Christ consciousness. I'm a little bit like Nicodemus mixed with Confucius. So I got to be mindful and aware of entertaining spirits of confusion. But I swear these lustful illusions be intrusively and true, know my peace of mind, but ain't conducive to what I need to be doing or the messages I'm spewing to the spiritually ruined. Intuitively speaking, most of these poets ain't like me. They seek annuities from poetically preaching, sort of like these pastors and deacons who profit from people's pains on the weekends like a funeral home. You know, a death resort is sort of crazy when you think about it. It's easy to master the art of mind control over people when you sleep deprive them, or when you keep us asleep and stimulate us until we're bored. So they making us consumers to the core, so we always content but wanting more. But you can rest assured, choice is at your front door. We losing our souls every night. We so naive and unknowing, they got us sleeping our life away and work until we die. That's why you start your day with good morning.
High rises. That's how I start my day. High rises.
Okay, yeah. One more and I'm gonna get up out of here real quick, God. Okay, this one right here is called Love Hate. Just a message to all of y'all, man. Love and hate. Two things that you can feel and you can see. Watch who you call your friends and watch who you call your family. People claim they will love you, but take a moment to inhale and you can smell the fresh aroma of fake love in the air. You see the poison on their lips. They will try to kiss you with their lies. And most people hide behind a disguise. And just because they older don't mean they wise. Despise the free lunch and watch with whom you take pictures. And watch who you call your brother and sister. And please don't expect to receive love from people who have no love in them. Look in the mirror. I pray to God is what you see. I manifest heaven's vibrations, welcome you with open arms for all eternity. I manifest peace upon your journey. May you never get lost or go astray. And may you grow older with love and not heartbreak and hate. But please be safe, because they gonna hate the way you smile. They hate it when you feeling good inside. They hate it every time, because you tell the truth instead of lies. They hate your honest tongue, the way you face your fears and never run. They probably hate your mom and dad for having you as a God-gifted daughter or son. They hate what you're becoming. They hate the fact you're one of one. You shine bright like the sun. They hate the fact you're not a bum. They hate that you don't hate. They hate all of your loving ways. They hate the way you praise. They hate you every single day. They hate your gift of gab. They hate the way you make people laugh. They hate your soul ain't trash. They hate your happy ass ain't never mad. They hate you never sad. They just hate you just because they can. You will love them, but they will hate you. And they love it when they hate you, and they love it when you fail. They love it if you just disappear and go to jail. They love it when you care. Get your hopes up, then get let down. They all rejoice like, yeah. They love it when you fail. They love it when you really scared. They love it when you going through hell. Man, that life, I want to pull out all your hell. Love your low vibrations. They love it when you speak hatred. They love it when you're mourning. They love your pity party going. Love to wish you good morning. Love it when them demons haunt you. They got the spirit of California. They love the smell of ammonia. Love when there's depression on you. Love when death around your corner. They love it when you procrastinate and slack. They love it when you don't fight back. They love it when you're not healing. They love the loss and the fear. They will hate you every way, and they will hate you every day. But stay on your mission and never go astray. You will love them, but they will hate you. And they love it when they hate you, and that way, guys.
All right. So this piece is called If My Poetry Had a Scent.
Oh, I remember that.
If my poetry had a scent, it'll smell of fluorescence. Because when that light bulb went off my head, everything began to make sense. If my poetry had a scent, it'll smell of sage, cleansing my palate of all the pain so I can prepare myself for the next phase. See, I bleed my ink onto these pages. I leave my soul out on these stages because if I didn't have this thing called poetry, I would have been elsewhere getting faded. So I traded libations for liberation. And instead of suffering in silence, I prayed to the Heavenly Father and found my salvation. So if my poetry had a scent, it'll smell like the strength that's gained after a struggle. But see, I juggle between the thought of life and death, yet I transmuted messages from all the mess. So if my poetry had a scent, it'll smell like alchemy. The way I turn my mental mayhem into metaphors, running through these poetic streets like a bull, no matador, and it's no more looking backwards. I'm moving forward, and I'm better for it. I stopped operating my ego, weighed up my cons and pros by using my common sense to let go of the emotional baggage to achieve a higher state of consciousness. So be mindful. You could be mindful when open that third eye to reach that state of enlightenment. Yet if my poetry had a scent, the growth be the fragrance. Like the center fresh flowers blooming in the garden, no more going in circles like a door that's revolving, I'm evolving. And I learned that I can't take everybody on my journey, so sorry, not sorry. If my poetry had a scent, it'll smell like relief. I'm sorry, it'll smell like release. Because for the first time in my life, I know what it feels like to be truly free. Collab. This is called Tears and Turnbuckles. So here we go. Woo! I wish I would have had more Rick's Flair. Yet I had more ups and downs than the patterns on a Richter scale. My confidence was shaky. And I had to go through a major undertaking because I wore a smile like a mask, hiding how much my mind was demented. Wreaking havoc, rioting, ready to explode. I was wired different, like the wired six and sense. I was stuck in my own matrix. I had to do some code switching. I was shadowboxing my reflection. So these prayers come with punches and petitions. By the God, they heard my pleas. Now they got my back signed off and now they vouch for me. So now, even when a storm is coming, I got a spirit as strong as Mark Henry. Because back then, instead of embracing my natural, I rested in too much in self resentment. Then I got relaxed. And instead of being a complete me, I felt felt the need to shrink me until I became more compact. I was in my mental Mortal Kombat. I compartmentalized my heart and boxed everybody out like it was a coffin match. I was suffocating on self deprivation. It was devastating because I didn't see the value in my life. So instead of adding, I started to subtract because I felt less than and I made hell my habitat. I swallowed them. I wallowed in my mistakes. So what do you call that? Eternal damnation? Yeah, I thought I deserved that. I felt destined to be forsaken. A real HBK in the making. And there was no tender loving care there to rid me of despair. No crowd screaming for me here. I felt empty in the stands surrounding the wrestling ring during COVID 19. My wayward thinking was that since I'm not perfect, I must be worthless. I let those hurdles hinder me, and I wanted to be the one that was phenomenal, but the weight of that self doubt and anxiety became astronomical. No last woman standing. The vipers kept draining me, one after another like a gauntlet match, each one stronger than the next, so the positivity started to plummet. I let those little voices in my head come together like the Kage Summit. They convinced me that I was inadequate. So the awesome truth was I had to learn to be my own advocate. Because life put me through the ringer. And it almost pinned me down, so I had to put a brave face and became my signature move after every hard lesson. But I didn't make the pain lesson. I fell deeper into depression. A part of me wanted to break the mold, but suffering became too familiar. And I was too scared to change because there were so many unknown variables, so I had to just play my part and end up getting stuck in character mode like Heath Ledger. I was too afraid of people seeing the real me, wondering if they would even listen to me when I speak. I had a real fear of getting rejected instead of accepted, so damn feeling oozy, no yeet, cut the lights off. I wanted to hear that final bell ding. I was ready to go to sleep and rest in peace for eternity. Yet when I tried to take comfort of being quiet for so long, my silence learned how to sing. Fast forward to the present, now here I am marching to my own beach, tugging at heartstrings, so watch me as I let these tears stream. And may the hymns of my hurt finally be released. Because this new rhythm of healing feels more like home to me. This the best I felt in years. So the sounds of inner peace is like music to my ears.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. You ready to come out the corner? All right. Mhm.
I'm a dead man walking out of a casket. From an inferno filled hell in a cell, you can't tell how many series of surviving suplexes, choke slams, and clotheslines to become a survivor. Or why I go through a gauntlet of hardcore matches that require bloodshed, sweat, and tears. Should I quit? Nah, nigga. I'll never give up. I'm an Iron Man with the spirit of Thanos. When I snap, I snap. Kendo sticks across your back. Steel chair to your face as I embrace this challenge of defeating depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts in a fatal four-way. Elimination style. Chamber of Secrets. Locked away behind Hell's Gate, where the beast incarnate incinerates and devours the pain away. Show them no mercy. I'm unforgiven to all the times I've unleashed F5s to get my FUs across. I'm the ultimate warrior, sparing sadness at breaking speeds, tsunamis washing my anxiety so the vision of a visionary can bounce back over his losses and know that I'm in the fast lane to get my wins back on track. Let me remind you, a backlash is temporary. To be the people's champ, there are going to be extreme rules that you will encounter. Now, Vince may tell you, ain't no chance in hell, but doesn't understand I'm the CEO and chairman of this story. I am the head of creative. I am the tribal chief. Ain't no mountain I can't climb to say I am the ruler. Sure, I've had a fall from grace, but you can't snatch my soul. I'm going to stand and deliver on business. Then you'll have no choice but to put the crown jewel on top of my head and acknowledge me. These are my bragging rights. Then, now, forever. Louis.
Sister from another
So,
mister, and shout out to Pyro. I hold this pen better than a loaded gun, but my sis came up with this fire as topic. It's twin targets. So here we go. I used to drown in my own insecurities, but not I swim past them. I'm walking in my excellence after feeling less than average. I learned to be outspoken after being so passive. Then I turn myself into a lyrical assassin. So who am I? I'm a force to be reckoned with. I keep my poems in the chamber with an extended clip. So Houston, we got a problem. And it's in the form of me. Cause see, I'm bodying every stage I step on repeatedly. See, I hold my pen better than a loaded gun with the way I spray this ink, no trigger warnings. Because I kept my voice on safety for far too long and I was too far gone. So now I'm trigger happy, ready to fire off multiple rounds of wordplay and shoot out stanzas with pinpoint precision. No longer boxed in, I'm firing off on all cylinders, piercing the hearts and mind of all citizens. I'm like the plug, cause there's power in my words. And I got poetry inside my DNA. So you can catch these bars any time of the day, no hollow tips. Cause this spoken word artist speaks with substance. And my bars be like tectonic plates the way I make these room shifts. My bars be like karma. The way I take those venomous words that people spat at me, threw it right back like a boomerang and make them swallow it. My shit stay locked and loaded. When magazine filled my composition, ready to take on the opposition. See, my girl, my past is poetry down to me. So when I say I got poetry in my jeans, I mean that shit literally. Check the thread count because I'm sowing seeds. These rhymes are my true religion. I hold my pen better than a loaded gun, coming fully equipped with that sniper flow. Bring that grade A smoke, so this shit gon' hit different. I got bars of bullets. Either way, you gon' catch this heat. No cash money, but the block is hot every time I speak. I hold my pen better than a loaded gun because I'm not the two nor the three. I'm the chosen one. Hattie.
Ooh, ma'am. Oh my goodness, Lord.
My
I'm
pen,
trying
my
to.
pen, my pen. This just like air. Hey, yo, my pen is nice. Slicing and lifting, leaving them winded. They say that I'm gifted. Just look what my pen did. Ink like a river. This flow here is fluid. Just look how it's moving. Pen keeping them grooving. If you slow with the rewind, just might see the bullet. Grip lean it sideways, still tight and steady. Precision when I aim. My pen stay ready to bang. Mind, pen, paper, and flow we the gang. Headshots for your brain. Word, spit, like rat tat tat tat, click, 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 then reload it again. No, I don't need a stage. I cemented my place. If Dylon be one of the greats, then my fire is flame. I joke and I kid, but the latter is truth. With one ear, you'll see my portfolio's proof. No, I can't miss, so I cannot lose. If these words hit, then I'm talking to you. Ain't no beef here. Just boom, 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 boom. Been serving them hits for a while. Feels like an assault when my barrel touchdown. Get a grip, penmanship, then legit, send it clip, virtuous, vigilant, valiant, visionary, vocally vicious venom, victorious vortex. That's a VP9. The way I've been going off, painted pictures, profoundly prolific, pose, poetic precision, pioneering power plays. Already gave up too much game. The way my thoughts be loaded, ammunition spinning and let these rounds go off. Pop, ain't no misfire. And just like Judge, your sentence ends with a slug. Pop, conviction, I be the verdict for the way I pin my case. Pop, ain't no cap, ain't no way that bars can hold this flame. So let me put this pen back in the holster before we go pop, pop, pop. Damn it, I cannot be stopped the way I keep going off. Yeah, I'm Bruce Lee with it, the way I spring into action. Classic. I done conquered this skill and now it's been remastered. They bob and they weave and still can't dodge this heat. And shots can't be recalled once they've been released. With a pinch of control, you witness this execution that'll get relived over again and again. Ain't no safety on this pen, and they can't silence her neither. Running like I had a gun to Raj EP, Henson the way I'm laying them down. Target hit line by line. Poetic scheme, what's the crime? These lyrically charged rhymes. Jury states that I'm justified, expressively amplified when I get caught with my pen.
So this is called
Ooh.
Entering the Views. I don't arrive gently. I arrive like a lens being wiped clean with a sleeve still damp from crying. I arrive with fingerprints on the glass, mine, theirs, everyone who's ever touched my story and left the smudge called opinion. This is not a doorway. This is a widening. The views do not open, they accept, they inhale me, they ask my name without language. I step forward anyway, brave the way a rib is brave when it protects a heart that keeps breaking. Behind me, an audience breathes, not seated, not silent, just hovering like weather. They carry their opinions like pocket knives, small, sharp, personal. I feel them against my back as I decide whether my spine is strong enough to be seen. I whisper faith, not upward, but inward, to the part of me that kept living even when living felt like an unpaid labor. The ground here is unfamiliar. It doesn't promise safety, it promises honesty. Every step is a series of leaps measured not in distance, but in what I'm willing to lose. I lose old versions of myself first, the quiet one, the agreeable one, the one who made herself smaller so others could call it peace. The views sharpen, edges appear, color refuses to behave. This is where the divine does not descend, it rises. from scars, from laughter that survived the wrong rooms, from hands that learned how to hold absence without becoming it. I pause, not because I'm afraid, because patience has finally taught me that rushing is just fear in a hurry. I breathe. My presence arrives before my body does. It fills the space like a truth no one asked for but everyone needed. This is a performance, but not the kind with curtains. This is the kind where my pulse is audible and my mistakes are part of the script. I do not rehearse my pain. I let it speak on its own accent. Somewhere, a voice inside me is questioning, what if they don't understand? Another answer, softer, steadier, what if they don't have to? The views widen again. They don't flatter, they reveal. I see all the chances I almost didn't take, stacked like unopened letters, each one still warm with possibility. I open them now. One by one, they spill fresh into air into my lungs like I've been underwater my whole life and just learned how to surface. This is not clarity. This is evolving, a verb that hurts a little because growth always asks for rent. I lift my face. Light meets me where shame used to live. Call it a blessing that I am still here with a voice that refuses to behave and a heart that keeps choosing tenderness even when bitterness would be easier to carry. Call it miracles that I can stand inside my own story without apologizing for the volume. The views do not clap. They do not judge. They simply remain vast, honest, unflinching, waiting for me to keep going. And I do. Not perfected, not finished, but visible. I step fully into the views, and for the first time, I'm not looking out. I'm being seen for myself.
It's called Between Leaps and Light. Entering the views, I arrive like a note slipping into the melody, brave enough to sound without certainty. Faith takes his leaps here, a bridge made of breath. Over the silence of fear, blessing hum beneath the surface, unheard by loud opinions, without the options, likes and views. You like me, you don't like me, I really don't care. That dress themselves for performance, forces turn towards an invisible audience. Still, I remain questioning the view, listening for what trembles behind the words. Miracles do not shout their names. They shout my names because they be hating on me. They are the metaphors of the cracked window, letting morning in, chance leading close, whispering, stay in the presence the moment involves. And the world turns fresh again. I became nasty, but I turned a new leaf and become more vulnerability within myself. Like rain, remembering the ground, the divine is not distance, it is the chorus of views. Each one is a different harmony of a same song that I just created in my head. That song we learn by walking, not walking by sight, but walking in the faith, by falling, by rising, and by the darling to sing. Even with no chops, even with no claps, they always singing tunes. Letting the noise let me know I shine bright like stars.
Let me start off by saying thank you to Father God and all my angels and gods for the divine protection, clarity, and covering that's always given. Even in my moments of moving around mentally blinded, voluntarily ignorant, and foolish. All the years of moving in fear of doing the things that I actually wanted to, but never fully trusting and having faith to make a move. Worrying about everything that could possibly go wrong instead of considering everything that could actually go right. Like, come on, Jen. He gave you another chance at life. Told the Reaper, nah, not this one. She's mine. And even if she doesn't see it right now, she will in time. And I admit it, time has definitely revealed to me that I am something special. I do have a purpose, and that even when I'm scared, I just got to suck it up and be brave and just do it. There are times when I look back at all the life decisions that I've made, good and bad, and I'm still here. Still I rise, day after day, by God's good grace to have a fresh new start. Blessings on blessings, and all I had to do was get out of my head and stay out my own way. Year after year, I just surprised myself more because who would have known that 5 years ago I would have joined a live streaming platform and end up being the one getting views, the one having an audience and sharing moments like this with all of you. 6 seasons, 100+ episodes, and how many years? Only two, but I did it. We did it. Wednesday after Wednesday, and here sharing moments that are more than just seen as a performance. It gets personal. It gets emotional, all through screens. And some of you I've actually had the chance to meet. And I must say that it was a pleasure. The experience of pure vibes and genuine energy, where I was able to be seen and not just viewed. Because if you didn't know, there is a difference between the two. Life has always been a mirror to me that miracles can actually happen. Because, baby, when I say some of y'all met me at some low and dark times before I decided to break the cycles and bad news and jujus, they evolve through y'all seeing me when I smile, but the ones that paid attention seen the dim in my light and my eyes too. But still, y'all always gave me y'all presence. That is why I always said that that is my present. Y'all just don't know how it be making a difference. And it will always be your time over your dime because for me, you can't put a price on a genuine smile. Thanks for the reassurance during times of me questioning, doubting, or second guessing myself. Thanks for the energy boost when y'all see me in a bit low of a fuse. Y'all spark me up for real without being drug infused. I used to be so worried about people's opinions, and now I couldn't give one, let alone two fucks what anybody has to say because I came a long way. And through it all, there were times that I didn't even have patience with myself. I figured it out. When I realized that the chances of things going absolutely wrong, it's all determined by me and the way that I choose to think. So no audience is needed. Just because who I am, I have to prove nothing to nobody but me. And like I said before, God, my angels, and gods.